What's going on, gamers? So we have some interesting stuff here to kind of cover when it comes to Xbox being late on this type of stuff that I think should have been part of the beginning of the generation of the Xbox Series consoles. And how Microsoft once again is copying Sony on multiple routes. As we know, they do that a lot. Sometimes Sony can do a little bit of that too. But as of lately, when it comes to thinking about exclusives, because Sony's going back fully exclusives, thinking about maybe off of Steam, because Sony is doing that, and now adding voice chat to game clips for insiders, on top of having something that is similar to a PlayStation Platinum in the trophy system, because everybody loves PlayStation trophies more than Xbox achievements, which they've been behind on for years, right? Hey, it's all right here. This is what they're doing. So are we ready to get into this? Become a member, leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into this. There's a lot of stuff here to talk about. So it says right here, last updated an hour ago, and this happened earlier in the day, is that Xbox adds voice chat to game clips for insiders, right? But here's the thing, though. Microsoft likes to do things, but they like to do things, like I say, with not full heart. One thing that I would tell you when it comes to this generation is right off the bat, the PlayStation 5 had a full UI next-gen dashboard, right? And the Xbox Series X and S still had the last-gen dashboard the Xbox One users were using with that Windows 10 operating system. It was obviously closed, but still. And Sony's recording system was actually superior. It's like, what do you mean? Well, first of all, not only that, streaming. You can't even stream YouTube off of Xbox. They took that away. On PlayStation 5, you could stream straight up to YouTube. On Xbox, you can only stream Twitch. And your specs are limited to like low bitrate. On PlayStation 5, the quality is better. Not only that, but you can do recordings for not just an hour, but you could do recordings all the way up to an hour and include voice chat and party chat and game chat. Not only that, you could record the last hour of your gameplay. Microsoft system limits you to like 30 seconds, and then you have like up to like 1 minute, and then you can't even do 4K fully longer than that or anything. It's just 30 seconds to a minute. It's actually a lazy system. And you would think, wait, hold on, aren't you a PC company? Wouldn't you give them a better system? So yeah, they added this today and they're trying to act like it's a big deal. It's like, you're kind of late to the party and it's a bootleg system and you're limited to like 1 minute. On PlayStation, you can go a whole hour. You can go have a montage. You can go on the PlayStation app aspect and go in there and make edits and all of that. Their system is just way better. On Xbox, you can't do any of that. It's like limited. And you kind of can only do Twitch. Not joking, yeah, if you guys didn't know that, yeah, the PlayStation world has a much better system with that. So it says, Xbox CEO Asha Sharma announced players can now opt in to include game or party chat audio in their clips. This isn't a miracle, this is just copying PlayStation. I told you, they don't do anything innovative. A feature fans have requested for years, oh boy, for years. It's rolling out first to insiders in the alpha skip ahead ring. Alongside tweaks like sorting achievement history by gamer score or completion percentage, PlayStation has been doing this. Expanded cloud save restoration for games like Forza Horizon 6 and Wishlist, holding up to 1,000 games. Sharma also teased a major achievement system update later this year, possibly inspired by PlayStation's Platinum trophies, in response to a fan's question, which we will see she actually did that. It's kind of like another Hear You thing, except she's actually going to do something. And they're going to try to do all this social stuff. But when it comes to anything outside of that, I promise you, this isn't going to really make anybody care to get an Xbox because nobody cares. Except if you're just in the Xbox world and you're a diehard Xbox fan or you're an Xbox gamer and you wanted this. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to beat it down. I'm just saying, if they were going to give you something like PlayStation and it was going to be somewhat competitive, why give you something so bootleg? You know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing. Like I said, if you guys don't know, you can look it up. You can record up to PlayStation to a whole hour. You can even go back to something you did in the last hour and grab any of that and actually grab it and clip it down if you want to after that. And it can all include your audio and other players too. Yeah, it's an awesome system. You get a lot of freedom on that. And like I said, you can stream straight to YouTube from PlayStation, but you cannot stream to YouTube on Xbox. It doesn't have the feature. You can only stream on Twitch. Yeah. So right here is where she posted it right here. Players have been asking for voice chat and captures for a long time. How did she know that? Well, think about it. Who else would be in that aspect? Maybe Phil Spencer and somebody else. Somebody who understood the players were actually asking for that for a while. Starting today, it's here. You'll also see more on achievements and wish list in this latest update, right? Because down here is where this guy Brandon says, this is the guy right here. When are you going to solve the platinum trophy equivalent with achievements? This is another Xbox player or an Xbox fanboy, which there's nothing wrong with being that, because you're not being toxic or anything, who wants what PlayStation has. It's always been that way, by the way. Don't try to act like it isn't. She says, team is working on something for later this year. So right here, we get the idea that it's the PlayStation route again. 3 times I just told you how they're copying PlayStation. You ready for number 4? Recently, Game Pass changed this model to like PlayStation Extra, PlayStation Essential, PlayStation Premium. They added 3 tiers, right? And then in the future, expect Microsoft to stop not putting day one games on Game Pass and doing exactly what Sony is doing because they can't subsidize anymore. You saw some of these Xbox Game Pass updates lately. They've been kind of dookie, right? You've seen it. You're like, oh, man, like not really looking good. Yeah, they're not going to be subsidizing like you think anymore. And if they're going to want to try to play some sort of game, they need to change around not only the tier model, but think about what they want to have on their day one if they don't want to destroy the sales of that. They think that they're going to move hardware with the Helix or whatever. I don't know. I just don't think that that's going to be working out too well for them. So right here, this post has 274 comments. Going down, Brandon says, wow, amazing. I looked away for 30 minutes and holy cow, my feed blew up. Keep winning. So here's the parasocial stuff that Microsoft likes to do a lot. I'm not saying it isn't cool that they look at you and they would actually reply to you because this isn't some famous guy, right? This guy he follows more people than follows him. He only has 11 followers. He was just asking an honest post and she was just coming to reply to him. You know what I mean? Microsoft is very good at doing that when it comes to parasocial behavior. He could be the type of guy that could show up at an Xbox event and she could take a picture from him smiling. You know what I mean? They do this. I'm not saying that makes them bad people or anything. I'm just saying that that's a thing in this world that actually has went across 2 generations now. Though they took some back then too. Aaron Greenberg would do the same thing. He's a cool guy. He's not a negative person. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they care about you like you would think. And take it like you would take a grain of salt, enjoy it, and keep going forth in gaming and hope for positive things. But do not get too caught up on parasocial relationships. If you don't know what that means, Google it so that you can understand that. Okay, so going down, he says that Blood Pharaoh says, I'm sorry, what? The Mr. Ricky person says, and please separate game achievements and DLC achievements. It hurts to see a 100% game completion and a DLC launch, see it at 70%. I mean, that kind of happens on PlayStation when you click on it and you can kind of see. So people know, and on the PlayStation world, you get that platinum trophy next to it. So you know they actually got the platinum. Sony has a really good user interface. I've always liked the PlayStation Store better, the PlayStation 5 dashboard better, PS4 dashboard. In general, I like their sound effects. I like everything better when it comes to that. Now, I liked Microsoft's like a gamer tag setup where you could pull up the menu on there and see the picture. I mean, it was cool, but Sony ended up making their stuff really good over time. Now, that's one cool thing Microsoft did have is in that sense with their dashboard, and the Xbox Series X generation was lazy. You should have gotten a next gen one. You got like a exclusive-less launch. They delayed Halo for a year. Forza was coming out the next year. Only thing you had was some Game Pass games day one that were cross-gen that you could, I guess, max out, and you had the medium game or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff where like they also took out from the Xbox One era. I'm like, why did you do that? You should have kept that, right? Like people like the snapshot or whatever. In the 360 era, you could watch Netflix with people in parties. Remember that? That was actually a really cool feature. And I don't understand why you would take that out. It's like, whoa, look how much bigger Netflix had. You had something huge going there. But of course, that's Microsoft for you. So going down, he says, I hope it's something like this concept that fans were sharing earlier this year. 100%, 100% Emerald, 100% trophy achievement badge. Yeah, they'll do something different than the Platinum. It's going to be something like that because that's green. And that would actually fit the Xbox color, which is actually green, the Chaos Energy. Stallion says, oh yeah, I can't wait to see what comes of this. Please call them Emerald Trophies. Give them a shiny emerald when you get them, or you can think of Sonic, the Emerald Chaos rubies, right? Please let us prestige achievements so we can earn them again once we have 100%. Still, 1,000, 1,000, but maybe a rank to how many times you did it would greatly increase replay value on a new game playthrough. Yeah, so a lot of people actually are requesting this feature, but what I can tell you is that it's cool, but what they need to do, which is the biggest problems, is fix the things that really matter. This type of stuff is like stuff that I think is nice when everything else is in place. This kind of reminds me of like the logo changing, and there's a new boot up animation, except at least this is kind of like adding in some features that include in your gameplay. So it's like a next cool thing, but this is something they've always like messed around with when it comes to like UI updates, firmware updates on any type of development platform. You'll get that type of stuff. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it's not going to make anybody go get an Xbox. So if you think that this is going to help the Xbox brand get revived or move the needle, it's not going to do that. This is just for existing users in the Xbox world. It's not going to help them against anything when it comes to selling like PlayStation or Nintendo or any of that. In order for that to happen, a miracle would have to happen. Jesus would have to come on earth to be like, all right, I got you. You know what I mean? Other than that, I'm like, no, it's pretty much over. In that category, but still cool, right? Because we all know outside of this, they're still doing that multi-platform stuff. Xbox 360 emulation is coming to PC. Xbox original games emulation is already on PC, and they're about to do the full launch here soon. They're talking about Hisense TVs or whatever, where they're putting like 100 and something million whatever that is. I think it's 150 some of them sold, so they want to try to put, you know, cloud on there with Game Pass modeling, just like they try to do that in the mobile world, and add up all these fake numbers. But all that stuff is just them going in multiple directions. Then you saw that post about Xbox console devices, Xbox handhelds, Xbox OEM PCs, and it's like, that's what I mean by like they're just always going to be all over, because they can't play that single exclusive game anymore. Like they're going to just be launching an Xbox generation where it's going to be like what comes after the Xbox Series, and they're going to be full Xbox exclusives on there, and it's going to be affordable, and everybody's going to be focusing on that. No, it's going to be that, but way too much. Not the exclusives that you think, because they can't play the game. Call of Duty's also on a 10-year contract, and that's their biggest seller, right? OEM models in the PC world that are more expensive than that one. Handhelds to the side that nobody's going to buy, but it'll sell okay to Xbox fanboys. And then I'm still trying to push on TVs and cell phones. So in that sense, you kind of get the idea that the Xbox brand is still going to be all over the place. But I think, like I said, if Microsoft had to pick a lane, it's going to be being a full-time publisher. All this stuff is cool, but I feel like it's too little too late. You're doing it when everything is in the water and they're drowning, and people have drowned it, and you're like, all right, hey man, you there, man? I'm about to bring you some. It's like, yeah, bro, you should have did this a while ago when we asked for it, while things still had a chance to a certain extent. And that's the way I look at this. So once again, let me know what you guys actually think about this. I honestly don't care, but I have to make content on this because it's something that has 1.1 million views, and it has a post that you can actually highlight, and people are actually talking about this. But this is the type of stuff that can blow up in the Xbox world, but really it's not going to do much damage on the market though. And that's not being negative. That's just being accurate and honest. So once again, keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on. Peace, y'all.